Hey everyone, it's Miriam here at Messy Paper Wheels. Today I am going to be working in this little junk journal I made with a card. I made it so I could keep track of information that I would like to keep track of. It's just made out of some random scrap papers and I stuck in an envelope. I believe I might have shown this to you in my last video when I was talking about quick and shortcuts on how to make things. It's just simple, one signature. It just has a simple little tie here in the middle. Make sure that's not coming loose in any way, because I don't tie with a lot of string. Probably squirt a little bit of glue on there before I'm done, just to kind of hold that knot in place. I don't want to do it now because I'm going to be working on the journal, and that will interfere and maybe glue that page over, and I don't know that I want to do that at this point. So all I did so far was go through on some of the pages. I simply cut diagonals. I noticed I missed a book page here. I cut diagonals on the corners rather than rounding my corners. Like I said, this is just one that I'm going to use for myself, and I'm okay with the diagonals, so I'm just using my little Tim Holtz, oh excuse me, no, these are We Are Memory Keepers scissors. I use them for little things or for even fussy cutting because they're good and precise. They have a sharp point. And I thought today, as I work on this little booklet card journal, that I could maybe share with you some of the tools that I use in my crafting. And rather than doing a separate tool video, I thought I would share some of the things that I used. Apparently I missed just the one corner here, and I must not have done the book page at all, so yeah, here it is. Oh, I missed it on this side. How'd I skip it over here? Well, this is the reality at Messy Paper Wheels, because Miriam is sometimes forgetful and can't remember things. So, all right, so let's get back here. I'm just snipping the corners. If you don't like the pointed corner look and you don't have a corner rounder, this is one very quick and easy way that you can give it a different look without using a corner rounder. You just snip the corners. They don't even have to be all exact if you want it. I didn't snip this one because, as you can see, it's a fold over. And I did not, of course, snip this one because it is an envelope. So I'm not sure. I might come back and do something different with those two corners. I haven't really decided at this point. So I'm just snipping. We'll make a little pile over here off camera where I can pick it up when I'm done. Again, these are the scissors that I really like because they fit well in my fingers. They don't take a lot of string to use. While I'm talking about scissors, I do have this pair. These are my largers. These are the titanium non-stick Fiskars. I do like to use score tape. I'm using up some that I have, so I really don't have a preference in brand, but score tape is simply this stuff. What you don't want to do with score tape is use your regular cutting scissors to cut it. So I keep an extra pair of what I call like sticky scissors. These are scissors that I can just simply use to cut things that are sticky, and then I just clean them with alcohol every now and then. I also, rather than using, I like the torn edge look, so I do have this pair of deco edge scissors that I bought from Amazon. I don't recall the brand. It was kind of an off-brand kind of thing, but they work very well, and I picked them up on Amazon. There are a lot of, they call this ripped look, is called deco edge. So if you like that look and you're wanting to get something to do with deco edge, look for something that says deco edge, but really, I mean, you can tear it yourself with a ruler and it does well. I use a smaller ruler because it's easier for me to pick it up, move it around. It does have cork on the back. It's just like the big Westcott makes some. This is just like the big 12-inch ones, only it's easier for me to use the smaller 6-inch when I'm working on something like this. Okay, so all I've done is sewn the signature in. The card was blank on both sides here. So I've got some various scraps here. Some vellum, some different little small page scraps that came, something I probably got from Temu. I've got some washi tape stickers here. They're just these little booklets, again, probably a Temu purchase. I do have some random washi tapes laying here in case I want to use those. This is just a wooden thing that I glued one of the, I think it's either Tim Holtz or Ranger. These are made to fit the little daubers that you use for ink, like these. However, it's hard for me to switch things, so I have a brown dauber, a black dauber. I label my daubers so I don't mix things up. I found this was actually a piano cleaning tool. I filled it full of Fabrifix, but when it dried, that kind of sunk in. But it'll still work to put ink on and use with antique linen. It's really fine. Antique linen's a very light color. It's good if you have white paper that you're wanting to yellow just a little bit, because it gives that kind of a vintage look to the paper, rather than, especially if you have something really white that you want to make vintage looking. So I thought maybe today, you know, I'm just randomly playing here. This little booklet I'm going to use to keep track of information in this year that I want to keep track of. So I'm just kind of looking through what I've got, seeing what might work, what I can use, just to cover some things up. I have these really beautiful papers with birds that I laid out here. So I thought maybe I could use one of these on the inside cover and then put a pocket over it. I want one that doesn't have a lot. Some of them have these edges that look burnt or torn, worn. So I want to use one for the front cover and back cover that's most of the corners are kind of squared off, because I think it'll fit and do better in the journal for the front, and possibly even the inside back cover. But I want to use something different than what I use in the front, so I'm not real sure. Here's another one. Here's one here. I think I'll use that in the front and use the other one on the back cover. So I'm just going to glue it down. I usually glue it right on the surface that I will be gluing to, rather than using a glue mat, because like I said, I have a hard time. If I want to get caps off of things, I use my sticky scissors to pry lids off of pins and caps, and hopefully I can get this cap off to use this glue stick today. If not, I'll grab another one. But this is one of the Scotch. Well, that one I don't think has ever been opened, so I'm going to have somebody open it for me first. In that case, I'm going to use my large Scotch permanent glue stick. I did get the purple glue stick. Interestingly enough, I have found these at CVS. They are permanent. It's nice because you can see where you put the glue because they're colored. They're significantly cheaper. They're only $3 and something at CVS. So if you can't find large, this is like a large glue stick. If you look, these little squares on my mat are 1 inch, and if you look, it just kind of takes up one of the little squares. So it works really well to cover a big surface area. So I'm just going to take it and smear it on my piece of paper here. So how's everybody doing? I hope all's going well. We've got a wind advisory in effect tomorrow night in my area in Ohio. We've had additional wind advisories. Just be careful if you get glue down where you're going to stick it. I have accidentally put my paper face down on that, and what happens is it'll rip up an edge on your paper, and then you got to fix that before too, and it's just a little difficult to sometimes fix those edges once they pull out of the middle of something. You can always ink it and cover it up, but you just want to be careful you don't end up sticking your piece down upside down when you're putting glue on like this. So you just want to cover. Glue sticks work really well for this. You can also use liquid glue if you prefer it. But I just spread my glue all over, and I did the one for the back cover first. Did you see that? So let's just flip the book. And I'm going to hold it so I don't end up getting that glue down here, and I'm going to put this inside my back cover. Oh well, now that's not straight at all. The good thing about glue sticks is if you get something down that isn't straight, you can go back in there and fix it and pull it up. Put a little more glue where you need it, that type of thing. I'm not gonna ink it. It already had, oh wow, looky there. My signature's in crooked. Oh well, I'm okay with that since it's my little book. I probably didn't get that one on as crooked. You can put yours on more evenly. So I'll put this other one in the front. And knowing how much it covers now, I think I'm just going to put the glue directly onto the book and then stick the page down. It'll still work well if you make a mistake where you can peel it up and replace it if you need to. So I'm just going to try not to go beyond that, but I'm not too worried if I do because it will wipe off easily as well if I get too much on there and overflow it. I just want my paper to stick real well. Okay, let's see. Here's this pretty vase with a bird. I'm not sure exactly. So let's see. Front's likely going to be crooked, so I'm going to try to get it in here as straight as I possibly can, knowing that, oh, that's not too bad. Maybe it's my gluing on the back that's worse than my signature being put in there crooked. I have this edging around here. It's okay. I'm probably going to just, I think I'll just go ahead and antique that, use my antique linen and just kind of, well, I'm having second thoughts. I think I'm going to use my vintage photo and ink around this. Ink around the edge of the journal on here. I use the Distress ink. Again, this is vintage photo. Comes in a square pad. Joann's recently, and I think they still do, had a bunch of ink pads on sale. Just be careful you don't leave your ink pads open because they will dry up. I'm getting a piece of paper from over here on the side to put under my book on the edges so I don't end up with ink all over. I just keep this little scrap pad here to the side and I'll put it under things that's thinner paper that really isn't good, maybe as a journal page or something, but it works good for gluing. So I'm just gonna try to, yeah, that's all I want to do is just try to darken this up a little along the edges. You can see how it's starting to take some of that ink. So, something interesting. I don't know if you guys might be interested in seeing videos of it, but you can certainly let me know down below if you'd like. Considering doing a, believe it or not, junk journaling class in my home. I used to attend one that was at this antique-like store, And the lady that did it is no longer going to have her shop there. So she won't have the ability to have it there. But I was approached with a couple other ladies that have shops there, and they had attended a class, and I'd filled in and did a class for this person. And those other ladies really liked it so much that they would like me to consider teaching one. So I may begin teaching that, and if I do, I may include that here on my channel. So anything I teach in the class, you guys might get to learn about it too. A lot of the techniques that I might teach, they're kind of the ladies that I'm going to be teaching them to, they've been making journals, but they've been making a lot of journals with mainly digital pages, not things out of junk mail, things like that. So I like to repurpose things. I like Pam on Paper Outpost always said everything is a craft supply until proven otherwise. Well, I kind of like that way of looking at things. So that's how I approach my crafting. I gotta get a drink. Sorry, guys. My throat was getting dry there. Alright, so now I've got this page covering my inside. The page was already cut to it. As I explained in one of my other videos, I really like pages that are already cut to size because it saves me in cutting them down and using paper trimmers and cutters. I also have some pieces of vellum. It'd be real great to do a pocket that way, but I think I just simply I don't want to cover up this beautiful bird image. I just simply want to put a pocket here, and I dropped my score thing before I started here, so I'm just going to, since it's small enough, let me put something different color under it so you can see what I'm doing here. It's hard to see on top of this white. Here's a blue. You can kind of see with the blue. I'm just simply going to line this up with the edges and fold it over. And for the other side, I'm going to put it down here. See how large I want it, or for the width. And then I'm just going to fold this side over and make it nice and as even as I can. Things are often crooked when I do them, but hey, it is what it is. So I have kind of a big piece here. I'm going to take my scissors and just trim it because that's going to go down in the journal. And what I've learned with vellum, you either need to use glue that's made for vellum. I've seen other crafters have said that the Bearly Arts glue works well, or glue that doesn't wrinkle. I've been using score tape because I have a bunch of it, plethora. As I never knew what that was for a long time, but when I was younger, but I do now. So anyway, I have tons. If you don't know what plethora is, I have tons and tons of, not tons. I have 3 large rolls of score tape. Tons, I guess, is exaggerating. But I'd like to get it used up. One kind, I'm not even sure what the brand is on it, that folded crooked. So, ooh, okay. Your vellum can tear on you when you're working with it, as mine just did. See how it tore there? But that's okay, because it'll be the gusset part that tore, not the actual pocket. So when I lay it down, it's not going to be a problem for me. All right. I'm going to take my little scissors and cut my diagonal. By putting a gusset on the pocket, it allows you to put more things in it. If you just glue your pocket down, it doesn't seem to, it doesn't hold as much because your glue's taking up part of your pocket space. So I'm just going to make some gussets on this, make a few here, and I'll show you one of the punches that I do like to use. I have a thumb notch punch that is fairly easy to use. It's by We Are Memory Keepers. A lot of people use their circle punches, but I have a hard time with bigger punches. I like this one because you can put weight down on it and it will actually punch. Now, when you're punching vellum, I don't know that this is going to punch very good, so I'm going to take this piece I had under here and fold it and put it in with it, give it a little bit of stability. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball the middle here. I just put it and then I'll, ooh, now it's really not punching on me. Let me try it with just the vellum. Maybe I got too much in here. Maybe I was lying to you. I've heard everybody say that. I've not punched much vellum, so let's just see what happens if I do plain old vellum. Alright, I try to balance it kind of, if you don't have a lot of strength. That way I can pull this other hand in, and there it goes. On the floor. Nope, it didn't make it to the floor. Caught it before it left. Okay. Well, I got that started, but it didn't punch all the way through, and I will never line it up again, so I am going to try to simply cut this out the rest of the way. Since it punched good where it punched, but I didn't have enough strength to push all the way down on it, so I'm going to try to make it as neat as possible. You can you find punches that work for you. There we go, that works. Gives a little bit deeper punch than the ones that the circle punches do, the half circle ones. Okay, I'm just going to use my dauber. It probably has enough ink on here to just kind of ink this at the edges, just so it's not stark white. It's probably hard for you to see the ink along the edges, but it is giving it a little bit of a inked look. I don't know how much we're going to get done on this, so I'm going to work on it for about a half hour, guys, and then I'll, next time I work on it, I'll record again, and you all can check that out. My next video out as well. By the way, I do craft for people who have physical limitations, disabilities. So if you have any fellow crafters out there that applies to, please encourage them to, you know, come to my site and check it out. I try to show you how I do things so that I can do them. I'm in a wheelchair. I have a form of muscular dystrophy, and it limits my strength, but I try not to let it limit my crafting. And I say try because there are some things that you have to have assistance doing, and you just figure out what those things are. Plan for somebody to help you when they're available to help you, so that you can craft on your own. Like that glue stick I couldn't get opened. I'll have somebody open that for me, and then I'll put it back on myself, and it'll be much easier the next time for me to open it. I have to do that with all, even cosmetics. I have to have someone else unscrew them before, and then I put it back on with my own strength, and then it's, you know, you don't have that seal or the, so I'm just simply putting the score tape down. Again, I did exactly what I told you not to do, to use your sticky scissors for this, but if they get sticky, I'll just simply use a little bit of alcohol, wipe them off when I'm done. And I'm going to try to fix that little tear as I put this across here, so I want to make sure, you know, that it's on there across that tear, no separation in it. And I have this little gadget here. This is what I use to burnish things down, to spread glue. It's actually some kind of little scraper. I think that's scrapbook.com symbol. I'm not sure. I've had it for years because I used to make cards, and I've had it for years. I just simply, if I can get it started, I use my fingernails just because for me it's easier than trying to use more and more tools. The more I use my fingers, the less tools I have to put in my hand and potentially drop on the floor. Can't drop my hands on the floor. So they become spreaders for glue. Even I've daubed things with paint or ink with my finger. Your hands wash. I didn't do it today, but I watched a video somewhere where one of the crafters recommended, if it was you, I can't remember who did it. I've watched so many videos on YouTube. So if it was you, take credit below. However, you put lotion on your hands before you start crafting and rub it in real good. And I'm having a hard time with this piece. Rub it in real good and your hands will wash a lot easier when you're done crafting. The glue and the inks and things will come right off your hands. The lotion kind of coats your hands, so to speak. Of course, you want to use something that's not going to make you all greasy when you go to work with it. Alright, here we go. I got it. So, I'm just going to move this up. Hope you guys can see this okay. Yeah, there we go. Move that up a little bit and try to line this up as best I can. I usually will, when I'm doing something like this, I'll line the bottom up and let it stick down, and then I'll go up the sides. That way I can get it as even as possible. That's good. And then I'm going to take my little thing here. What you'll find, you can use, some people use Fabrifix with vellum. Usually a white glue, even if one that dries clear, will make it so wrinkly it's very difficult to work with and have as a pocket. So that's why I prefer to use this sticky tape. And then I have see, I've got a pocket here that's stuck down good. The sticky tape will hold the vellum in place. It'll, then I can, stick extra things in my pocket. All right, that finishes my inside front cover. I've already glued down, this was a book page that I turned into a coin envelope, and I like that bird, so I did leave the flap there and I just glued that down. I have some random book pages here laying on my table. Let me see if this fits well, and if it does, I'm going to use it and cut it off a little bit and make a tag out of it. Let me see if I have one that's just maybe slightly shorter. This is actually blank on both sides, so let me see if it will work, because I could just simply, yep, still have to cut that baby off because I don't want it to stick above, since I want it above the pocket but not above the book because of how I'm going to use this little book. So I'm going to take my scissors and just cut it across as evenly as I can. Throw that in my trash pile that I'll throw away when I'm done here. Okay, I'm good with that size, plus there's room to grab it up out of there. So let me grab my tag punch. There's various tag punches. I got mine on Amazon. It's straight, it's got straight corners for the edges, small, medium, and then there's even large. For something like this, I typically use maybe a medium. I don't know. I'll use a medium. And I'm just going to use my palm and kind of support that. And just, these are so simple. Well, if you get it in all the way, they're very simple to use. But you have to have it in all the way. So, there we go. And that's the one you get on the medium. Well, let's just, for fun here, let's see what the large one will do. Oh, there we go. That works better. And then I'm just going to stick this here. I've got it sitting on its side, and honestly, I just discovered this. Makes it real easy to just come along and push that down with my thumb, and now I have a tag. And just have to scoot those corners over into the trash pile. That's, weirdly enough, you probably see them, but I don't see them anywhere on the page, so I don't know where they went. Okay, so now I have this little tag that I can make notes on the back or do whatever with. I do have a few things here I thought I could use for decoration. And there's some different, here's a stamp washi tape. That might look cute with a stamp. Here's some ruler, ledger kind of washi tape. That might be cute on it. And then I have just some random labels that I got here that I'd like to use up, and just some random bits and pieces here, a piece of doily, some different stuff that I thought maybe I could somehow use. Let's see what I got here. Oh, I guess I shouldn't sing on YouTube. They frown upon those kinds of things, don't they? All right. Let's see what to put on the front of my tag without using a lot of stuff. Ooh, here's a pretty stamp. I think I'll use it up. Get it. And see if I don't have like some kind of a, here's a pretty label that I could maybe use. Maybe I'll save that for something that's, let's see. I don't know, guys. I have a hard time deciding what to put on stuff. Weekends, dream, rainy day, wing its flight. Okay, that'll be good for birds. So, and I also have some smaller page-like things here. Somewhere, where'd they go? I had a whole stack. Where, oh, where did my, oh, hiding under my journal. That's where they are. Okay, so I've got this piece, and I've got some vintage ledger-like pieces here. I think I'll grab some of it, and maybe a doily here, because like I said, I don't want to use a lot of things to decorate up. I'm using more minimal kinds of things just because of what I'm using the journal for. I want to be able to jump in here and use this journal for keeping track of all kinds of information. So actually that practically fits right on there. So I think I will glue that down, and then I'll just trim the little edge on it, and I'll go from there. Let's see, where's that purple glue stick? Here we go. I'll scoot my book over so I have a little bit more room to work without my book here. I'll probably be using some stamping techniques in this, so stick around. If you want to follow me, I could do a playlist below, so you will see. I don't want to use score tape for this. I'll use glue stick. So you can see what I'm doing with this one. Right now I'm just kind of putting this piece of paper down on here. I've got all kinds of plans for new videos that I want to do with you. Please like, share, subscribe if I haven't already said so. If I have, and you haven't done it, please do it. I'm going to be looking at starting a Facebook page too, where if you'd like to post anything on there, that eventually they'll be posting on it. I may not do that initially till I get things going with it. We'll just have to see. I really like how that looks there, but I'm going to go ahead and put this on, and then I'll probably ink around it good. But I'm just trying to match it up on the one side and the bottom, and then I'm going to come along with my scissors and cut off. I'm not going to put a hole in the top of this tag or anything. It's just going to be, see how it's not quite straight there? You know what will cover that? Ink. Ink will cover a world of mistakes, folks. I make a lot of mistakes in the craft room. You just want to learn how to either glue something over your mistake or simply ink it. What I'm gluing onto here is a nice heavy book page. The front and back initial pages of books are always made out of that heavier paper when they're binding books, especially the old vintage ones. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you can get your hands on an order book, just look at how most order books are sewn in with signatures too. A signature is just a group of paper sewn into a book. And some people put multiple signatures. I like making my junk journals with simply 1 or 2 signatures just because they are easier for me to manage and decorate and handle. It's really a personal preference. You find what you like to do, and that's what you do. If you want to do multiple signatures in one, there's lots of videos out there to show you how to do it. And honestly, y'all, if you don't like my channel, I'm sure you will find a channel out there that works for you. I'm just wanting to share what I do. See how I can just ink that, and unless you're looking real close, you would never know that I cut that and left a little bit of it. It's really, ink's really good for covering up white too, not just giving it. I think I'm just going to go ahead and put some extra ink off my dauber on here just to crunch it up a little bit more. I like that old look. And guess what, guys? It is getting close to time here, so I'm going to get this down on here and probably call it quits for this video. So if for some reason I disappear, well, that's why. I don't know, sometimes YouTube cuts you off after so long when you first are getting started out. So let's see, I'm going to put this more towards the top to cover that. Actually, I got glue there. No, I think I am still going to put this more towards the top to kind of cover that top section and just overlap it here. And wipe. If you have a cloth, you can use a cloth, but as I said, fingers work real well to just wipe glue off. Let's see what else I have here that I can just use up. Ooh, that would be pretty. I'm going to trim up this piece of doily and just simply put it on the top of this tag. So I'm going to trim out this part. And just kind of make a little little tag topper, kind of like a tab would be. Okay, let's see here. Ooh. Okay, let's do this, this, and go down like this. Oops. There we go. Works for me. Oh, let's fix that little spot there I kind of missed. And see if I've got enough ink on here to just kind of brown this up a little bit. Give it a little, again, if you don't want ink on your mat, you might want to put something under it when you're doing things like this. It's easier for me not to, so I just come along and then I will clean my mat up when I get done, or crafting, or having a craft session, or if it gets so much that gets in my way, I just clean it up. All right, I'm just going to simply, I don't want to cover that bird up. Let's see if we can pull him up enough. I should have put this down before the bird. Wasn't thinking that all the way through. Let's just put it down like what? We'll put it down to where it's, yeah, there we go. It's even with that. Really should not have put glue on the whole thing, should I? That was kind of silly, Miriam. Let's try to pull that up a little bit more since I put more glue on there, and get a little bit more down here. And yeah, I like that better anyway. Put that under the edge there, and then we can stick this down. It looks like I won't even need to put more glue on it. All right, simple little tag. I'm good with that, and I'm going to use that right here in this pocket. And then I've got plenty of room on the back where I can write notes or do whatever I end up doing on the back. All right, that's what we finished so far. We got the front cover and back cover, inside cover, a tag made. And I don't know if I talk too much or simply work slow, but that's what we got. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you, and you all have a wonderful day. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so.